Yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. I'm Commander Josh Fant for a couple more minutes here. Welcome to Warwick Neck Lighthouse. It's over here. Welcome to Warwick Neck Lighthouse. And thanks to all those that you braved the elements that came out. I truly appreciate it. And for all of you that are tuning in virtually, I keep pointing to the computer. That's why I'm not looking at the camera when I think of you. But it's really great to see all those faces, family, friends, and loved ones. So thanks so much for coming out and helping us celebrate this. So without any further ado, we'll try to make this as quick as possible. I'd like to introduce Captain Patrick Dugan. Captain Pat Dugan is the Chief of Civil Engineering in the Coast Guard. And so with that, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you, Captain.
Hey, thank you, Josh. Just make sure, can you hear me as well?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. In light of the weather, I will dispose of my 45-minute speech. First, a welcome on the, I believe your family's there with you, Josh. You've got Jen, Brendan,
if you want, Jen.
Brendan, Gavin, Jillian. And on the phone, yep, as his family comes in and braves the elements there on the phone, Jeannie, Jerry, Jeremy, and Jeanette, all welcome. And I have to ask, there's something with the J's going on with family?
Yes, I think that was a rule. Once they started down that road with Jeremy, we ended up down that road.
That's fantastic. Note that this is just a monumental occasion for Josh. For those of you on the phone not so familiar, less than 25% of all commissioned officers make captain. And for Josh to be promoted to captain today is just a tremendous occasion. Those of you who haven't known Josh as long as I have, I met Josh in 2001 as he was over at the Marine Safety Office in San Francisco, and he decided that a change of career field was in order for him. He came over to check us out over at Civil Engineering Unit in Oakland to see how that might work. And I think that was a good move all around. He's now the CEO of CEU Providence. Josh has a couple accolades to go on. For those of you who didn't know, he was the regimental commander as a cadet. He was also a record high jumper. I think high jumper or pole vaulter, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it's good for jumping through hoops now. But I've had the privilege of working with Josh directly in acquisition for a couple of years. And also, when we get to Roger, working with Roger for a couple of years up in Kodiak. But CEU Providence is the current Cowart Award winner, thanks in large part to the crew they have there, as well as Josh and Roger's leadership. His mission support product line has made some great strides this year. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate having you in this position, Josh, even if it's for another week or so. So if you're ready to do this thing, you ready?
I think I'm ready, sir.
All right. Raise your right hand, please, sir. Repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Family, I think this is your turn now.
All right.
So, Captain, I'm going to go ahead and read the promotion certificate.
Please do.
To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Joshua W. Fant, I do appoint this officer to the grade of Captain in the United States Coast Guard, to rank as such from this first day of July in the year 2020. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which appointed by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position. And this officer is to observe and follow such orders and direction from time to time as may be given by me or the future President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America for the time being under the provisions of those public laws relating to the officers of the armed forces of the United States of America and the component thereof in which this appointment is made. Done at the city of Washington this first day of July in the year of our Lord 2020 and of the independence of the United States of America, the 243rd year. By the President, signed Chad Wolf, Secretary of Homeland Security.
Put him down. Well, thanks, Roger. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Brennan, Gavin, Jillian. Thanks so much, guys. I did have a couple remarks. I'll make them quick because folks are standing out. It's not raining any longer, which is nice, so I appreciate that. Captain Dugan, first I want to appreciate you, sir. For those that couldn't hear, Captain Dugan was my introduction to the civil engineering program. Back in 2001, I was stationed in San Francisco at a marine safety unit, and I paid a visit to CEU Oakland at the time, and he convinced me, along with some other folks, to apply for the ocean engineering postgraduate school, and from there on it was history. And then we also served as well together in CG9, flying boats together and enjoying our time, and now continue to serve in the civil engineering program. And so it's an honor, sir. Thanks for looking out for me all these years and helping me along. I also want to thank the Coast Guard for having the trust in me to continue to serve. This is truly a job I love. I think at the change of command 2 years ago, I quoted Catherine Graham. She writes, "To love what you do and feel that it matters, how could anything else be more fun?" And for me, that's a reality every day. I love doing what I do, and a lot of it has to do with the folks that are here today, that are online, that help me get there. To the mentors, the supervisors, the bosses, the coaches, the co-workers out there, there's too many to go and name, and I will probably do a little bit more next week at the change of command. I hopefully you know who you are, but you've had a profound impact on me and in reaching this milestone. It's the last two jobs I've had, Coast Guard Academy, facilities engineer, and the CEO here at CEU Providence. I've been blessed to be put into leadership positions, and I've learned several things, but one that I think resonates above the others is that the accomplishments and awards and achievements are earned by the many, not by the individuals. And it's really a testament of the work that you do here at CEU Providence, at the Coast Guard Academy, and all the jobs before that, that really lifts me up and allowed me to achieve this milestone. So I'm truly appreciative of that. I think it's very apropos that it's here at CEU Providence. This is really where I cut my teeth and learned from many of you that are still here, how to be a junior officer, how to be an engineer, how to be a project manager, and ultimately how to be a leader. And so I truly thank you. Family and friends, I leave you last but not least. I know that's said all the time, but the reality is you have two personalities, one at work and one at home, and those at home know who I am, and hopefully I try to be the same person, but the reality is that they sometimes get the worst end of it, and so I'm supported very well. So thank you, Jen, Brendan, Gavin, and Jillian, for being on the home front. Sometimes it's with a hug when I come home. Other times it's with you're fighting amongst each other and you're just testing me to see if I still have it, if I still got what it takes. when I walked through the door. And so thank you for keeping me on my toes. I know my mom and dad, my brother and sister are online. Thank you for your support all along the way. My mother-in-law, Bernadette, is also online, and my recently passed father-in-law. No, he would be proud. Okay, enough from me. We're going to shift over and promote Roger Mason. So we're just going to shift right over. I need 1 second, one pause. All right, good afternoon. I'm Captain Josh Fant, the newest captain in the Coast Guard. I had a great XO that gave me the line. So first off, I want to welcome Margot and little Roger. I want to welcome Roger Mason, your dad, Sue, I'm sorry, Joanne, Roger's mother, I'm sorry about that. And then Colonel Roger Mason, welcome. Thanks for joining us. That's really easy, the easiest lineup that I just messed up. I mean, there were 4 Rogers involved, and I unfortunately I messed up. But welcome. Truly a great day for your son and grandson and your husband and your father. And I couldn't be more delighted to be the one to officiate this. So the rank of commander. Really, this is the introduction to the Senior Officer Corps, and we get to give you your first set of scrambled eggs today. So what to expect? You can expect increased responsibility. You can expect that more is going to be expected of you. You can expect that you're going to have more innovative solutions when you come to the table. Faster reviews, especially of OERs as of late. These typically aren't a problem for you since you've been doing this for the last 2 years, but some things that you might find a bit challenging. First of which is that there are less billets as a commander, so there's just less, the less people, less billets. And so you can look at very exciting locations like Kodiak or Base Cape Cod, to stay a little bit more local, but it gets a little slimmer at the top. What also is going to be different, that somebody mentioned to me when I was getting promoted to commander 6 years ago, was that people are going to look at you differently. And they said it, and I was like, not really. No, they will. So it might not be from the lieutenants that you see every day and have interacted with, but the ones that pass by you. And it's really just, one, a sign of respect, but also it's just a sign that you're now old. And so in the eyes of a lieutenant, you're ancient. Like you're there now. So I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way. And then the last thing I wanted to mention that you can expect is the title of commander is really cool. Monday night at the family dinner table in the Fant household, we had basically 4 out of 5 said commander is way cooler than captain. And so you're about to get that really cool title. And so you got that going for you. But I also kind of want to retrace quickly how we got here. I haven't always been on the Roger Mason train. I really just got on it in the last couple of years. When I was assigned to be the commanding officer here, and I learned that you were going to be the executive officer, I was really excited. And you haven't let me down. Our first interaction was really on the roof of the library building at the Coast Guard Academy when I was facilities engineer, and you impressed me then and continue to impress me on a daily basis. Yeah, the thunder's coming. I'm going to be quick. You're a talented engineer. You're a dedicated executive officer that prods me as early as 7 o'clock this morning on, are we going to do this outside? Really? Or are we going to do it inside? And so I think we made the right call so far. All right. And you've set the bar extremely high, right? He set the bar extremely high, not only for those that he leads, but also whoever's going to follow him and those that lead him. And so it's been an honor working with you. But what really sets you apart from others, and probably why you won the Oren Medal, you knew I would work that in. So won the Oren Medal last year for the Coast Guard's best engineer, is your leadership. And I kind of break it down into four things. But the first is that you're an advocate for others. When somebody comes to you with an issue, you make it your own, and you champion that as if it was yours. And I think that that's amazing. You speak the truth to power. And I think over the last couple of years, that's been really important in our program as we've been changing and evolving. And I think you're also learning when not to do that too. And so as you grow to be a commander, you're gonna feel that pull back on a little bit. The third of which is you're willing to learn from others. And I love that there's a lot of folks here from CEU and those that are on the line. When you make up your mind, you're also willing to change it and get smarter and have an open mind and receive that feedback in real time and make changes. And that's an incredible trait to have. And then lastly is you care about others immensely. When they win, I can see that it makes you happy and you win. When they fail, you take it personally and you work your butt off to figure out how you're going to rectify it, whether it's within you or however. And those are amazing characteristics that are going to really carry you forward in the future. And so know that there will be more promotions in the future if you and Margot and your family decide that that's what's right for you. And so I'm very honored to be the one to promote you today. So with that, I will first go ahead and read the promotion certificate from the President of the United States of America. I will probably not have as awesome of a booming voice as Roger did during mine, but I'll do my best. To all who see these presents greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Roger M. Mason, I do appoint this officer to the grade of Commander in the United States Coast Guard, to rank as such from the first day of July in the year 2020. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position. And this officer is to observe and follow such orders and directions from time to time as may be given by me or the future President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America for the time being under the provisions of those public laws relating to the officers of the Armed Forces of America and the component thereof in which this appointment is made. Done at the city of Washington this first day of July in the year of our Lord 2020 and of the independence of the United States of America, the 243rd year. By the President, Chad Wolf, Secretary of Homeland Security. Congratulations, Roger. All right, we'll do the oath of office. Having been appointed or promoted, let's go with promoted. Having been promoted, too many pieces of paper. Having been promoted to the rank of commander, I'll ask you to affirm your oath of office. I state your name.
I, Roger Mason,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Tom.
The floor is yours.
Thanks, sir.
Commander Mason.
I'll be brief. I'm usually at a total loss for words, so I probably won't actually be brief. But yeah, a lot of people to thank here. I am. It's funny. This is it's the first time that I've been really excited about a promotion, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. Because the other ones were important too, but I think it's for a few reasons. One, I get to do it here in front of CEU Providence, which has been my favorite unit in the Coast Guard thus far. It's also just absolutely incredible, and I'm humbled to be able to do it with my family. That hasn't always been the case for me. Although my wife Margot, I had to remind her, she has been present for every single promotion that I've had, even the one we did in a really not nice rental apartment in Kodiak, which was really just me slipping on new shoulder boards. But she may have been sleeping through that one. But Margot's been there for everything, and I need to start with her because she is the one that's let me keep this going for as long as I have. And frankly, if it weren't for her by my side, I think I would have hung it up a long time ago, because she's the one that hopped in the truck with me and drove 5,000 miles to Kodiak, and not only let me survive that tour, but actually enjoy it. And then 6 years later, she did the same exact thing when we got orders to Juneau. And, you know, she's been by my side really for 20 years now. And she's my best friend. And I'm so thankful that she's on this journey with me. And I think the other reason why it's super special, and I'm looking at him right there, it's my son Roger, and it's the first promotion that I've done with a son, and he's taught me so much about life, and about I think makes me a better officer, and gives me drive to do what I do on a daily basis. So Raj, this is for you too, buddy. Hopefully you remember part of this. You know, the next reason is my grandfather. So he's able to join us here today. He's about to turn 91, and I tell this story. You know, people will often ask, like, "Oh, why do you serve? Why did you join the Coast Guard?" He's the reason why, and I know that without a doubt, because he bribed me to go to the Coast Guard Academy. He resorted to a bribe of a 17-year-old, and he never quit on me, even when I quit on him. And I think that really speaks to who you are as a person, Grandpa. You never give up, and I think I've inherited a small part of that stubbornness, or perseverance, I guess would be the more positive word. But you know, having you here today means the world to me. I'm thrilled that you're able to join me, because you're the reason why I'm here. And I mean, I wanted to not go to the Coast Guard Academy so bad that I intentionally missed my DOD physical. And he pulled rank at the Naval Hospital in Newport, I think, to get me in. And I haven't forgotten that. I was upset about it then, but I guess I'm thankful for it 20 years later. So thanks for being here, Grandpa. You know, finally, for the people that are here, my parents, you've supported me every step of the way, driving to and from the Coast Guard Academy, flying out to Kodiak and to Juneau, and giving me a place to stay as I've become a boomerang son in a way. So thanks for always having a bed for me and a hot meal, and for taking care of Roger and helping Margot and I whenever we need it. I know I've got family on Zoom as well, so thank you to my sisters, to my in-laws, and finally to the friends and leaders that join us that have been with me throughout my career. And then, yeah, finally to CEU Providence, I love this job. It's so funny. It's the first job in the Coast Guard that I can say without a doubt that I absolutely love almost every day coming to work. And I think that's because I get to serve with a bunch of professionals that are dedicated to doing the job that's so desperately needed in the Coast Guard. So thank you for joining us here. I know it's a cold, wet, rainy day, and I won't go on too much longer. There's drinks to be had, and we've got one more promotion to do. So thank you all. I appreciate it for coming out, and especially thanks to my family. I'm sorry. One. I forgot you, Captain. You were encompassed in the CEU Province, but I was rapidly checking the officer promotion authorization list because I really wanted to do this before your change of command, because I wanted you to do it. You mean so much to me as a leader, a mentor, and a friend. You've taught me that I can be both a Coast Guard officer and a dad. And I see the way that you care for your family, and it's the way I want to care for mine. I see the way you lead your crew, and it's the way I want to lead my crew. So thanks for being that perfect example for me. I've absolutely loved working for you for 2 years, and wish you and your family the very best in the future. So.
All right. Thank you, Roger. All right, we're gonna segue in. Yeah, you guys get in. They hear enough from me. All right, now we're racing the thunder here in Warwick. No. All right, so this, Brandon Scott, Chief Warrant Officer, CW03 Warrant Officer, Brandon Scott. First, I want to welcome your family, your wife Lori, your daughter Bridget. I know your son Addison's on the hiatus out on the Cape, enjoying life. Hopefully, maybe you can see him in there. But nonetheless, we were really excited to have you with the CEU at CEU Providence joining our team. Chief Warrant Officer Brandon Scott is getting promoted to CW04 from CW03. For those of you that don't know, the Chief Warrant Officer rank is really one of mastery of trade, of skill. And there's 3 levels, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know why it doesn't start at 1. You don't know either.
I couldn't tell.
Okay. I was thinking about that while I was driving here, and I don't know why. All right. So anyway, you're going from 3 to 4. 4 sounds better than 3. You're the master of all masters, a jack of all trades, and the master. The reason I mention that is at CEU Providence, a lot of junior officers come through, and not many have the opportunity to serve with somebody who's been doing it for 31 years in the Coast Guard. And for us, that's been incredibly special. And for those that don't even realize yet what an impact you have on it, they'll know soon enough. Okay. So for those that you don't know, Brandon is a reservist. And what's really cool about the reserve force is they have a regular job. Like they do their regular job, and when the service needs them and calls out their name, they raise their hand and step forward and basically put everything else on pause. And it's a lot different from those of us that do it on a regular basis. I think it takes an extra level of commitment and ability to adapt. And that's exactly what the Coast Guard did. In 2008, the Coast Guard put out a call. It was the summer of 2018, I'm sorry, put out a call. And I know that's our interaction, so I'll speak to that. But I'll get a little bit more to the past. Your name came up, and we were all in. Like, we had 100 chips. They were all in on Brandon Scott because of the reputation that you have from those that have served with you down in Florida, in Puerto Rico, and then in Sandy, after Hurricane Sandy and the Jersey and New York coast. Everyone talked about what a level of officer you were, and it was extremely high, and you have not even come close to failing to meet that. You have exceeded that. So we gave you 3 tasks. The first of which was, we want you to install 100 generators for family housing in Borinquen. Okay? Like now. Like if you could do it yesterday, that would be better. And this is an area that was ravaged by Hurricane Maria in the fall of 2017. They're frequently getting power outages, and it's impacting Coast Guard operations and the readiness of the air crews that fly those missions, right? And so you immediately went to work. And then that really wasn't enough of a task, an issue. So what did Coast Guard do? Well, the government decided to shut down for 45 days just to add a little bit extra to see if you had it. And you did. Check. Next task. Let's have you manage about $10 to $12 million worth of construction in Western Florida at 6 different sites. Okay. Dealing with everything from roof repairs to major landscaping evolutions to hangar repairs to additions to existing stations, one thing after another across all trades. And then they didn't want to leave it at that. Global pandemic, middle of construction. Let's not make it easy. Let's just really test this guy, see if he's got what it takes again. Again, still keeping us going in the middle of a pandemic as it rages in Florida right now. And then lastly, I spoke to it a little bit before, but we asked you to, and I don't even think you knew you were tasked with this, but we asked you to provide best practices and show the way. We manage $45 million of construction at any given time from over a year's period of time, and you're constantly showing us how to do it better. And you bring that insight from your regular job, which is as a site superintendent, to this job and make it better. And I think it's a testament to who you are as an officer, who you are as a man. So it was with, so folks that don't know, because you didn't actually get the award, but you were presented with the Sergeant Medal, which is a Society of American Military Engineer Award presented to one who gives the greatest contribution to the Coast Guard Civil Engineering program. And so I'm honored that we get to promote you here and that you continue to serve for CEU Providence, especially while I'm here. So with that, I'll go ahead and you want me to read it? It's up to you, sir. I'm rolling now. I'll just keep going. All right. It wavers every now and then. So here we go. We got the presentation. Having been all right, the President of the United States of America, to all who see these presents, greetings. Know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Brandon Scott, I do appoint this officer to the grade of Chief Warrant Officer 4 in the United States Coast Guard. To rank as such from the first day of July in the year 2020, this officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which appointed by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position. And this officer is to observe and follow such orders and directions from time to time as may be given by me or the future President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the United States of America for the time being under the provisions of those public laws relating to the officers of the Armed Forces of the United States of America and the component thereof in which this appointment is made. Done at the city of Washington this first day of July in the year of our Lord 2020 and the independence of the United States of America, the 243rd year by the President, signed Chad Wolf, Secretary of Homeland Security. Congratulations.
Woo woo.
Get you settled. We'll do the oath of office. Having been appointed to the rank of CW04, I'll ask you to reaffirm your oath of office. I state your name.
I, Brandon Scott,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose for evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Woo woo.
Just real quick, I know we've been out here a little while, but I just want to say thanks to CEU Providence. They've actually extended my stay to make this mark. So I can't thank you guys enough. 31 years is a run, 32 will be even better. And with W4 pay, you can't. So thank you very much. And thanks for believing in me and trusting me and giving me the reins that I've been given to do business for you guys. It's all part of the team, and I appreciate every one of you as a whole. To my family, my wife, my daughter, Addison, it started 31 years ago, and it's about ready to wind down. So I couldn't ask for a better team to be supportive, to be with me, and to see this through. So again, thanks very much. I appreciate it. I'm not a very big speaker, so appreciate it. Thanks, Seth. Awesome.
All right, I think that's going to conclude the ceremonies, plural. Heard enough from me. Okay, thank you so much for coming out. There's some refreshments over there for those of you that braved the weather. Please enjoy a beer while you enjoy the great coast of Narragansett Bay. Any last words?
so they can talk to you.
All right, we can unmute you if you all behave. Especially my parents.
I guess they have to unmute themselves. Yeah, so if anybody out there wants to unmute themselves and say hi, feel free to do that.
Say hi, Uncle Raj. Here he is. Come.
Yeah, hi Patrick and Maeve. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the screen. Hi guys.
There he is.
Let's see who's out there. Oh, I can. So if you want to see everybody. Oh, there's Mom.
Captain and Commander, CWO Scott, congratulations from headquarters. We are very proud of you. I expect, of course, more work to get done tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
What did he say about that?
I think he said something about
Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
I'll be working.
Mom's here. Dad's here. We're so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was all because of you guys.
No, you did it yourself. You did it yourself.
Yep. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
Check the radar or something? Is it like coming? Is that why we're scrambling to take things down?
I don't know.
Oh, was it? All right, we're going to sign off here in Providence.
It's getting nasty.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Bye.